welcome to a brand new edition of the Ramble on Reactions. With me in my map room is handsome Dan Dye.
Sitting right over there in his map room is clever Eric Mullen.
Hey, look at all these maps, like he can go into space if you have the right projections.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I think our segues are my new favorite part.
You also said projections and not like calculations, which threw me off a little bit.
Well, you do the calculations and the correct projections.
I also knew what you were talking about. So, the film we're going to be talking about today is Hidden Figures. Now, this
Not Hidden Fences, Michael Keaton.
Not Hidden Fences. So, Hidden Figures is a movie about 3 African-American women who worked for NASA in the 50s. 60s. In the 60s. So, civil rights movement is actually happening. And then you find out very quickly about all 3 of the different women. Taraji Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe. So they all have different character arcs.
Yeah, I like that. I like how they're like all not like, oh, we're all mathematicians. They all have different jobs in NASA, and they all actually, they all have the same goal of equality, but they're going about it in different ways, and you see each one of their struggles of trying to get to that finish line.
And it was really interesting the way they set up this movie, because it's set up very much about these 3 women, and you don't get your stereotypic run-of-the-mill biopic. It lies somewhere between a biopic and a sci-fi, kind of like an Apollo 13.
So still a biopic.
A little bit, but you're getting a lot more of the equations, you're getting a lot more of the
Well, you're actually getting the science part of the science fiction, which, again, it's not really science fiction, but it's actually science, which is problem solving.
Which is problem solving on something, and they bring it up multiple times, of math that hasn't been invented yet, and then it's
up to them.
Exactly. They have to. There's kind of a counter thinking for that, but it gets a little spoilery, so I'm not going to keep going into it.
Or you can always just go to Wikipedia and find all the answers there.
Or that. So, but as far as the performances go, this movie it's solid top to bottom. Like every one of the leads absolutely nails it. All 3 of those actresses I mentioned earlier. Marcia Shelley, I don't know if I pronounced his name right. He's in this again. He was in Moonlight. He was in Luke Cage earlier this year. He's been up and coming.
He's had a really good year.
Everything. Yeah, Kevin Costner is great.
Again, I love this career resurgence of Kevin Costner as the supporting actor.
You have Jim Parsons, who I didn't mind him. We talked about this movie a little bit before going on. And then Kirsten Dunst. I was going to say Kirsten and emphasize that. And those are pretty much all your big players. Yeah,
the only problem I have with Jim Parsons is like he's pretty much playing Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, but instead of like, because he's an asshole. Either way you look at it in this movie and Big Bang Theory. But in Big Bang Theory, they just write it off with, oh, he's just, he's special. As opposed to this one where it's like, no, I'm just an asshole and I don't like you because someone has to play that character.
He's racist. And that's kind of where a lot of the movie lies is, again, when we talked about this earlier, it's, the character development is there, but a lot of times it's like, bad white person, and it's like,
well, rightfully so.
And I'm not taking anything away from the movie. They don't give those characters any development because it's like, let's face it, they don't need it. These are what the people we want to be highlighting, we're highlighting.
Right, and the people like Kirsten and Jim Parsons, they're the roadblocks.
Yep. And then Kevin Costner is there to be like a guiding voice and take you through the events of this movie.
Right, so this is where my only fault with the movie is that it feels a little biopic, like the stereotypical biopic, like where you have certain characters are just there to fill that role and you have the mentoring type. It still follows like a paint by numbers. Now, it's an interesting story, which helps overcomes that. But again, it's still, like I said, a basic Hollywood paint-by-numbers biopic.
The reason it didn't take me out as much is because...
I'm not saying it took me out, but like I said, that's my criticism.
But no, that's the thing. Normally, if it's a criticism like that, that's something that could pull me out of a movie like this. And where it's... For something like that, and the way it's done in this movie, I very much enjoyed it because that's... I imagine that's how things really were. And then you get a couple of really good monologues, especially from Taraji Henson, and she has one in front of everybody. That's one of the
breakdown one.
Yeah, she breaks down in front of everybody, and then she's one of the best moments of the movie, and it's like really emotional. So really enjoyed that moment. As far as like writing, directing, storytelling, it's all great. There's really no comments there, nothing to judge. Like you said, it's a little bit of a run-of-the-mill biopic, but you don't find yourself being taken out of the film from it.
And he said your favorite part, my favorite part is still Kevin Costner tearing down the sign, which you see in the trailers, and he just turns to everyone and goes, "And NASA, we all pee the same color."
which Which is, to be fair, a really funny line.
It was well done, but that was my favorite part.
It is a little funny in and of itself too. So, Eric, great Hidden Figures for me.
I'm giving this a solid B+. Like I said, great performances from everyone. Like I said, some characters are just there because they have to fit that role. And the love subplot was, I know is probably what was going on at the same time, but again, was it really necessary for this movie to still be able to tell the story? So again, like I said, and again, it felt like a little bit of a paint-by-numbers biopic.
I'm going to give it a B+ as well, but I love the love subplot. I thought it added...
Well, that guy is so smooth.
Well, I thought it added a really nice, like, dimension to it, because it's like she's doing very good in her professional life, like, so to speak, and she's also dealing with someone who's like, she first spurs his advances and then they warm up to each other. Like, that's kind of run of the mill. But I like the way they kind of ebbed and flowed. There was never a point, like, there's no super, like, there's a huge racist theme and motif throughout the movie, but there's never like, this is gonna be the worst thing to happen ever.
Right. There's none of that.
It's not like Apollo 13 where it's like, these people are gonna die if we don't save them. It's like, we have to fix where these people are going and we have to ensure their safety. So you can always scrub it. Like, the stakes that they show are stakes as a society, and it comes through and it's portrayed very well.
Yeah.
So, Hidden Figures. Go check it out. We both give it a B+. As always, thank you very, very, very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you thought about Hidden Figures. We enjoyed it as a movie. What do you think? Oscars, pick some.
Probably Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress for either probably Octavia. And then
I think Best Actress for Tarash.
Yeah, well, that actually all depends. It all comes down to how they categorize Viola Davis for that. From Fences.
That's true. I think she'll get categorized as supporting, depending on how they do that. But
again, it's up to the Oscars, not us.
Yeah,
the Academy.
We just like hypothesizing. Yes. But yeah, I agree. Definitely Picture.
I'll probably also go Best Original Song for Pharrell.
Maybe Adapted Screenplay. Because I think this is adapted. I don't think it's original.
Yeah, it would be adapted.
It'll probably be nominated for that as well. But yeah, clever Eric Muller sitting right over there.
Handsome Dan.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Ahoy, ahoy.
Ramble on.